So for the anniversary of Apollo 11, I decided to recreate it in Kerbal Space Program. So with the first stage ignited, our 3 brave Kerbonauts begin their journey to the moon. So here you can see the first stage separate, and I used 5 skipper engines for the second stage because this resembled the real second stage of the Saturn V, which used 5 Rocketdyne J2 engines. It really rolls off the tongue. After the second stage is jettisoned, the third and final stage pushes them into orbit. This orbit was called a Parkin orbit, and they did all their final checks to see whether they could go or not to make history. Here the third stage performs a second burn, called the translunar injection, getting them a close encounter to the moon. I actually can't believe I got it so perfect on the first try with that encounter, only 30 kilometers above the surface. But yeah, then the command service module, nicknamed Columbia, redocks with the Eagle and landing They did this so that they could get rid of the third stage and send it into orbit around the sun, and left behind with just the landing bit and the return bit. Yeah, once they reach the moon, the command service module pushes them into their final orbit around the moon. I actually have to do this so many times because the fuel tanks inside the service module weren't attached to the engine, so really annoying. But yeah, there's a beautiful Earthrise, some Kerbal rice. Then here we're just moving Jeb and Bob into the lander because Bob's gonna do some science down there and Jeb's gonna pilot it, and then Bill's gonna sit there, the loneliest man in the world, just like Michael Collins. But yeah, well, technically not in the world, in the universe. But yeah, they separated and burned their engines, and then descending, and then finally hover over the surface of the moon, touch down gently on the surface. But yeah, so then Jeb gets out, be famous, be the first Kerbal on the moon. They actually didn't know whether it was solid ground, so they were afraid to sink. And also, they thought they might have been able to get any diseases from the moon, but yeah, that wasn't the case. Then Jeb plants his flag, British Union Jack, beautiful. And here, Bob's just doing some science, try to recreate the solar wind analyzer and the seismometer, which Apollo 12 would have crushed its fuel tank into the surface, I believe, and got a reading from that. But yeah, here's the ascent module taking off and going to a redock with the command service module. After the crew have been transferred back into this command service module, they just undock the lunar module, and then they're burned to return on the way home. Lovely cinematic shot right there. Had quite a harsh re-entry because I burnt retrograde so that they'd land in the water. So they actually went unconscious during this re-entry, but it was better than being in the dark over highlands, so yeah. The parachutes deploy, jettison the heat shield, eventually. Then they slowly make their way through the clouds and make it home safely, splashing down in the middle of the ocean. And with that, it's about the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed. See you another time. Goodbye.